What's going on, guys and gals? My name is William Clark and welcome back to some Animal Crossing. Now, let me get one thing straight here. My next video will not be Animal Crossing related, nor will it be any video game related. I'm not going to spoil anything, but just keep an eye out. It's going to be really interesting as something that needs to be discussed. Not just on this channel, but in the whole world as well. The whole online world, I mean. Not just like the whole world in general. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. This could also go onto the world as well. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything. So, keep an eye out when that video is out. So, another day of Animal Crossing, eh? Sometimes it's good to just relax and sit down, play a fucking game of Animal Crossing, you know? Whether or not you're doing, whether or not you're playing Animal Crossing for an entire year, or if you're just playing it for just casually, not necessarily making videos on it. But I have gotten some messages, some comments, of people saying that they need to get back into this game, and you should. You should definitely get back into this game. This game is so awesome. And, so, yeah. Just, if anybody's thinking about getting a GameCube, anybody at all, anybody in the world that has not owned a GameCube yet, and is thinking about getting one, or is not thinking about getting one, but just wants to collect video games as a whole, get Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is awesome. Now, this may not look like a good game, because, well, you don't really do much aside from, like, pay a loan and shit, but, there is actually a lot to do in Animal Crossing. A lot of fans of the series will tell you that. I'll tell you that. I'm one of the several, and I mean several, millions of people. No, I wanted to sell these things because I can't. But the thing is, I love these kind of games. I'll play anything. I'm not a picky gamer, I'll play literally anything. You give me a sports game like Madden, and yeah, I'm gonna be pissed about it for a little bit, but I'll play it. I mean, as much as I hate sports games like Madden or basketball or whatever the hell it is, if it's not bowling or racing games like maybe NASCAR, I can tolerate NASCAR. I can tolerate it. But things like football and basketball, if you give me those games, it could be like, first of all, I'm gonna say, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't mind if I ever, okay, most sports games are cheap because they become outdated in less than a year. However, at one point, let's say for example, this year was 2015. Let's just use that as an example. And the next year is 2016, and they had already made a football game for 2016. Automatically the 2015 version would be outdated. I've actually seen, at the time, the 2015 game be released. Well, actually, no, not released. It was already released. But being sold for like $2. Yeah, $2. And this was at some game store. Not exactly GameStop, but some game store. Simply because of the fact it was already outdated, and they knew it was outdated. No one's gonna pay full price for a sports game that's outdated. I wouldn't pay full price for a sports game in general, but I really wouldn't want to pay full price for a sports game that is, you know, outdated. I'm just not gonna do that. But let me tell you something. I'm not a picky gamer at all. Like, yeah, I hate sports games, but I'll play them. You know, if you give me a game of Madden, and you want me to play Madden, fine. I'll play a game of Madden with you. I don't care. You know, a lot of people, they have their genres, and right now, it's, you know, it's either GTA 5, or it's Call of Duty, mostly. Most people, they're into the FPS genre because of Halo, Call of Duty, Doom, and its other stuff. As for me, I'll play anything. I'm into every single genre. Puzzle, RPG, and the widest assortment of RPGs, like ARP, you know, adventure RPGs, SRPGs, you know, strategy role-playing games, regular boring RPGs, you know. I'm into it all. You know, you give me a video game, I'll play it, as long as I have the system for it. If I don't, I'll probably buy a system, eventually. That's one thing as a gamer. You know, it's hard to come by, but I mean, that's what I think anyway. But that's because I live in a fucking small ass town that I hate. You know, I don't see a lot of people or hear a lot of people that play everything. Whether the games are good, whether the games are bad, whether the games are neutral. They're not bad, but they're not good either. They're like in the middle. Some examples I can give. Metroid Prime 3, Corruption. It's an okay game. It's not the best game ever, you know. I mean, I love it. I mean, well, I don't really love it like I do the rest of the series of Metroid Prime games, but it's not a bad game either. It's an okay game. I'll play those kind of games as well. I'll play games that no one's heard of. I'll play anything on any console, or handheld, or whatever. I've actually went to a website. If I can link it, I will. So you guys and gals can do it too. It's a really great. It's a really great website. That's where I get a lot of games. That's you can get a lot of cool games. But I'm going to say it right now. crackedgames.org. That's a really great website. That's where I get a lot of my games that I do some videos on. I did a video on something. I forgot what it was. Some cursed girl. I don't know. But, you know, it's not bad. One thing I will give it, though, is fucking horrible translation. If it's not translation, it's someone that doesn't even know how to make a coherent sentence. Yeah, in my last video about me spamming the fuck out of DJ, I was doing that on purpose. I was not trying to make a coherent sentence, or even an incoherent sentence. I was just typing whatever the fuck I want, spamming the fuck out of him. But, you know, if I was actually sitting down, making a video game, or anything, I would try my best to, you know, make a coherent sentence, or even try my best to, you know, write something good. But the thing is, some games you'll have that. You know, some errors. No one's perfect, you know. What the hell put a fossil, 2 fossils in here? Are those my fossils? I'm gonna kick your ass if they're my fossils. Simple paper, yeah, it's simple. Yay! Yes, that would be mine. As I explained before in this game, most of the time you're going to be getting money from fossils, that's it. Now, a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, you could also fish. Yeah, you can. You can definitely fish as well. But the real way to make money in this game is to sell fossils. Actually, no, sell the dinosaur bones that you get from fossils. Maybe time-consuming? Yes. Worth it? Fuck yes. But the thing is, as I was saying about video games, I'm not picky at all. Just give me any sort of video game you want. Any sort of genre, any sort of video game in general, I'll play it. Doesn't exactly have to be a good game. Okay, fine. You know what? I will play Shaq Fu on the Game Boy. And yes, that is actually a thing. It scares me to death knowing that it is an actual thing. But it is a thing. Sadly. But that's the thing. I'll play anything. I'm a cool guy, you know. I mean, if I really wanted to, I'd play games, you know, like Fortnite or whatever. But the problem with that is, okay, I mostly play games when the hype is down. Yeah, I know. Pathetic, I know. But I don't care. You know, I play a lot of games that a lot of people would think are uncool these days. Like Animal Crossing, for example. First of all, it's on the GameCube, so a lot of people are gonna be like, ugh, the GameCube. Who cares about that system nowadays? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I see this kind of game, and what it has to offer, and they're gonna be like, oh, you're a pansy, you're a fucking pussy just for playing this game. I mean, not exactly. I mean, yes, it is a somewhat childish game. However, there's more to that. There's a lot more to this game than meets the eye. You can't judge a book by its cover, as I've always been told, nor can you do the same with any video game. Someone should change that saying, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover, and say, you can't judge a video game by its cover. Because you can't. A game may look like it's fucking badass, and it turns out it might be. Or a game can look badass, but exactly it's going to suck ass. It's going to be the worst game you'll ever play in your life. And that's just the way it goes. You know, if a lot of games were that way, I mean, Call of Duty, it's okay. I mean, as the series goes on, it gets a little weirder, and you know, a little bit worse and worse as it goes on. But that's because I mean, people will eventually run out of ideas if there's any sequels and prequels and fuckwols and whatever. You know, they're gonna run out of ideas, and they're gonna recycle the same things they've already done before. Call of Duty World War II. I really want to play that game. No joke, I love World War II. I'm hell-bent on that kind of stuff. I'm really fascinated by it. But the thing is, as a gamer, not only am I not picky, but I'm just overall a fan of every single video game that I've played. You know, I will play old games from even the Magnavox Odyssey, which a lot of people may or may not know about. And I will go all the way to the current generation, if I ever had an Xbox One or PS4. And here's also another thing. I don't believe in the console wars. I do not believe in any of it. you know, I don't believe that Sony can be better than Microsoft in terms of sales and stuff. I mean, this console war has gone on forever. Just stop it already. You know, it doesn't matter. They're basically the same anyway. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying that, but just hear me out. Basically, it is true. Yes, there may be some differences, such as, obviously, the games that are involved. You know, you can't have God of War on an Xbox. However, you know, also maybe some of the specs might be the same. Well, actually, no, different. Like, maybe you can get a full-on 4K resolution, but actually they both offer that, I think. And they all might do this and that. But overall, based on what I know, I would actually prefer Sony over Microsoft. But that's just me. But eventually I might end up getting both, if I ever have the money. But, the way I see it, it doesn't matter if Sony is better than Microsoft, or if Microsoft is better than Sony, or if Nintendo is better than both. It doesn't matter, in my opinion. I just think that a video game console is a video game console. Just let it be. Just let it do its own thing, you know? I don't really get the whole console war thing. I would love to actually see Fire Emblem on a PlayStation. Imagine Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn being played on a PS3. Oh yeah. You bet I would definitely get that game. If that was a thing. The thing is, I believe that it was almost a thing. Nintendo almost had a deal with Sony. But someone fucked up along the lines and never got it. Although there is rumors that an actual thing was, you know, the prototype was actually made. And I have seen a video where that prototype actually exists. The Nintendo PlayStation, I believe, is what it was called. And it's basically a disc-based Nintendo console, also Sony console as well. Which later on, you know, Sony would be doing the PS1, whereas, you know, Nintendo would be doing whatever it is they're doing. But, well, it could work. Man, it's 2019. Anything can fucking happen. I mean, we're living in the days of VR, you know, virtual reality, and whatever else, you know. Let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee. We're living in the days where 4K resolution is dominating the world. VR is dominating the world. They're making portable computers, you know, that are basically the size of smartphones. You know, the GPD Win 2, that DJ so desperately wants. But they're doing a lot of that kind of stuff now. So I think it's possible that Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo should actually somehow just say, fuck this war. You know, it's been going on forever. Literally since video games were first a thing back in the 70s, actually. There's always been some sort of console war. Whether it be Atari versus Sony, which I wish actually was a thing, but apparently not. Well, actually it was. Atari versus Sony versus Nintendo and Sega. Yeah. But it's possible that it could work. I think it can. Even if you don't make a system, you could tell Sony, hey, yeah, you can use Mario for whatever, or you could use the Fire Emblem characters on your PlayStation consoles and whatever. That would be awesome. Hell, we're basically already doing that. The modders and the homebrewers. Hell, my modded Wii not only does it have a lot of Nintendo stuff, it also has stuff like Sega and stuff like that. That's not a big deal, but there's emulators where you can play Sony stuff, which that would never happen apparently in reality, sadly. And same with Microsoft. Microsoft, you can play Nintendo and Sony, Sega, whatever, and same as Sony. You can do all this stuff. So it's already a thing. Just make it official. Just make it official. Anyways, guys and gals, that is it for this video and this day. I will see you all in the next day and the next video. And as always, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, people. And Brohoof. Boom!